Hello, everyone. It's Tanya Kaler here. I am the family physician and work in my own practice at Joy and Family Medicine Coaching Services, where I partner with residency programs to help both residents and faculty enjoy their chosen careers and thrive. And I am interviewing a guest today, joined by Dr. Lara Hochman. She is the medical matchmaker, and she owns Happy Day Health. Um, Dr. Hochman, would you please share what you do? And thank you for being here.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you for having me. Yeah, as the medical matchmaker, I help doctors find practices where they can really enjoy practicing medicine again. I think some of us have found our ways into practices where we're not valued or we're told to do things that don't really quite make sense as far as, a sustainable way to practice medicine. So I help to guide physicians toward those practices and residents as well, of course. And, as much as needed, I kind of guide them through the interview process and figuring out what's best for them as far as practices go as well.
Oh, that's so important. I think that's really important work. And by the way, if you are live on Facebook and watching it live, type in the comments #live. And if you're watching it on replay, I would love for you to throw a little #replay in there. And as we kind of delve in. So I'm wondering, Laura, do you prefer to go by Laura or Dr. Hochman?
Either way is fine.
Okay, good. I'm wondering, there's so much that goes into finding a good practice, but since I do work with a lot of residents who are getting ready to start interviewing in the next few months, what tips do you have as far as their CV, their resume, anything along those lines?
Yeah, the resume is so important. It's the first impression before the first impression. So, when it comes to the resume, you really want to keep it short and succinct and easy to read. Within the resume, even itself, as the first impression, you want the most important thing at the top. So, of course, your name and contact details would be first. And then from there, you can go to education and then your current position and maybe your past positions if that's relevant. If this is relevant because if you have a lot of research experience and you're interviewing for a clinical position. Now, if someone clinical reads your resume and the first thing they see is all your publications, they're going to instantly think this doctor's not going to be happy. They just want to do research, so they'll just pass on you. So you don't want to be that person. And vice versa. If this is a research position, you want your research positions highlighted at the top or your research papers at the top. So keep it succinct. I like to say, if have the date on the left and then indent the rest, which makes it nice and easy to read. So date and then your position and then the practice or the company, and then if possible, maybe 2 or 3 sentences. And those sentences shouldn't be I completed these rotations during residency, because we all know what residency entails, but something more along the lines of served as chief resident during these years where I was a liaison between the faculty and the residents, or perhaps awarded the position or awarded the clinical excellence award, or patient satisfaction award, or whatever it was, something maybe that highlights something great that you did during that time. Just put those as a couple of bullet points underneath, rather than just family medicine, this job, family medicine, this job. Maybe you did something really great. Maybe you were awarded top doc. So most relevant first. Hobbies lost is always fun. It gives you something to talk about in your interviews. I had a job interview once where before they ended up the interview, they said, "Oh, and I noticed on your resume that you were a clown in medical school." And I was like, "Yes, I was." So I was not expecting that question. so, just something fun. I like having hobbies on people's resumes just to make you a
Yeah,
little bit more human.
I love that. And I love that you invited everyone to highlight in those sentences some strengths, right? And I find that is true for many physicians, that we don't feel like, there's something wrong about saying, like, maybe you're a narcissist if you put out your strengths. But you know what? You have some. And I know maybe towards the end of residency training, you're trying to remember what those are. But I think, spending some time and get clear on those so you can highlight those and know that that doesn't mean anything bad about you, that you're just helping them figure out who you are and what you're going to bring. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And that's how you stand out from the other applicants.
Yeah, great. What about, do you have any tips for like figuring out what the right job is?
Yeah, so this is going to be different for different people. I've spoken with physicians who really want to be in physician-owned private practices. I've spoken to physicians who really want to be in hospital-owned private practices. And neither one of those things is wrong. You just need to figure out which one's right for you. The biggest thing that I would say is set aside some time, put away all of your devices, no phone, no computer, just set aside 30 minutes with no distractions, pen and paper, and just write it down. And these don't even have to be things that are realistic. I mean, if you say that you want a unicorn at your desk, write it down, because all of those thoughts kind of lead into the next thought. And, once you have your long list of things you want, your long list of things you don't want, then you can kind of break it up, even those little lists. And what are the deal breakers? What are the must haves? What are the would be nice, but this is what I'll compromise on, because getting that clarity is so important before you interview. And if you're at a point where you're already interviewing, it's no big deal. You can still do that. But having that clarity before you interview and before you start negotiating will help you know what it is that you're willing to budge on, what you're willing to compromise on. Nothing will be perfect. If you watch the Indian matchmaker, she says 60 to 70%. So hopefully you can find 60 to 70% of what you're looking for, but you need to know what the deal breakers are. In any situation, I think it's always important to find a place that's supportive of you. And, whether that's in your leadership or your admin, you need that support. You need the support staff to help you through your day. We all know that, it takes 26 hours to do a single day of what it takes to be a physician. So we need the support staff, we need admin, and we need leadership to really believe in us. So I would say those are so important, no matter where you are. But all the other things, like where you live, how many patients you see, what your patient population is like, the demographics, the diseases that you'll see, those are also important, but they're going to be different for different people. So sit down, think through what's important to you, and then go interview.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's so important. And so what I love that you said is set aside 30 minutes, because do you know like how little time we set aside to like reflect and think about those things? And it's one of the most powerful things to gain your own clarity is to carve out some time and really spend time thinking. Thank you for highlighting that. You know, one other thing that I think is useful is, when you're thinking through everything, is you mentioned like the non-negotiables, right? And getting really clear on like the top ones, because like you said, 60 to 70%. So we can't make all of them non-negotiables, but uh, anyway, there goes that train of thought. This is really me. So you're getting the full Tanya Kaler today, and we'll let you know what the rest of that thought is later. I'll post it in the chat. Okay, Laura, tell people how they can find you, and I think you have an upcoming webinar too, right?
I do. Yeah, I'm giving a webinar tomorrow evening on the most common mistakes doctors make when looking for a job and how to avoid them. So I'd love to see you guys there. The link to sign up is on my website, which is www.happydayhealth.co. It is not .com. And you can sign up, and I'd love to see you there. It's at 7 p.m. Central Time tomorrow evening, Tuesday, August 30th. And if you can't make it and you want to chat with me, maybe you're looking for a job, or you're kind of wondering if the grass really is greener, go ahead and contact me. There's a contact form on my website, and I'd love to chat.
Great. Thank you, Laura, for being here, everybody. I hope you take advantage of her skill set in helping you find a great match for your wants and desires as you venture into your next portion of your career. This is Joy in Family Medicine and Coaching Services signing out. Have a great day.